So this is just a test to see if this works. If I can get into my... Let's see if this works on here. Oh, massive delay. So just trying this. Just anyone let me know if they can hear the sound on here. Yep, okay. You just put anything in the comments, if you can comment on it, just let me know if you can hear me at all. Yep, cool. So I'm just doing a test to see if great. I'm just doing a test if, like, I'm going to do some live stream. Also, when I go out to some locations, I want to try and do a bit of a live filming while I'm out there as well. So hopefully show you some stuff that I'm doing while I'm out there. So the videos are not just all, well, just me sitting here. But I don't know if people like the way the videos are at the moment and just me sitting here chatting. But I'm filming another video later on tonight. I'm just checking that everyone can hear me when I do these live feeds. Still got croaky throat. You can hear my daughter's shouting in the background as well. Yeah, so tonight I'm actually filming a video on, I did give a clue in my last one. It's actually on Hall Place, which is over in Dartford. So I'm going to be filming that one later tonight. And we're really close to getting to 3,000 subscribers, which is like brilliant. I can't believe we can get nearly hitting 3,000 subscribers. Going by Social Blade, it's going to be a very, very long time before I hit any more, any more milestones of that. Thank you. I'm really glad you like the videos. And, you know, it comes from, 20 years of research of doing the stuff locally, really. But I've always sort of gone traveling around the country, looking at other areas. And it's been really nice to have the interactions with people, the members on it. It's just been fantastic. And hearing all your stories, I will get round to doing the email address. I've tried it, and yeah, not that it didn't work. It was just a really paints email address I picked, and it wasn't very good. So I'm going to do another one. So, but yeah, it's just nice getting out, doing a few bits. I've got a few more plans coming up. I've got a couple more in London I want to do. I don't know how you feel about me doing the London videos. I quite enjoy them. I do enjoy going into London. We've got some coming up near Ipswich as well. And something I'm actually looking at the moment is there's been some reports recently of near sort of Hockley, the beast again, the old black beast. So we're going to do that. Hi Carly. And yeah, if you let me know your locations where you are, just I can see what I've got. I mean, literally, I've got so much. I've got, if I disconnected anything, this is my old paranormal suitcase when we go out to investigations, and it is full of documents and have I opened it upside down? Yeah. And old equipment that we used to use, like the old trip sensors. So you just put one either side, and if it went past, it'd trigger it off. What else we got in here? Another set of those as well. Infrared torches. So when we used to film in infrared, these were easier to just highlight some other areas. And yeah, so if you're in a dark place and you see a shadow or something, you'd put it onto infrared and then you could film it better. I've got to say, the new cameras now I do miss filming in infrared. And this ain't going to shut properly now, is it? I've marked them with paper right way. But when I talk about my old documents and go through my old files, most of them are in there. And it does just sit down beside me. But yeah, it's just interesting. The equipment we used to use years ago, the EMF meters and stuff like that. I don't know if people still use those. Hi, Kelly. We used to use quite a lot of that sort of stuff, and we used to get through so many tapes. So like we're going on doing an investigation, we'd get through about 40 tapes, and they were about 3 hours each. And then I'd come back and shut myself in a dark room and just watch all these videos to see if we capture anything, because most of them were locked off cameras. When we done the Absolute Radio investigation, we were asked to go down there, and they were doing it live on air. So we got there just before midnight, and we filmed all the way through the night with them. So we had Richie Firth there, who's the DJ, and Christian O'Connell. He didn't come until later, but we set up our equipment. After the investigation, we sat there and went through everything. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say that. And I say it's because I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. And you know, even like the Absolute Radio one, it was a lot of time spending looking at all the tapes afterwards. But when I finished all the investigations, and I was getting, to be honest, I was getting a little bit bored of going to these same places. What happened is that all of a sudden it became very, very fashionable to charge a lot of money to teams to go and investigate. And I got a little bit annoyed where other groups were charging a lot of money. They'd hire out a location. And yeah, I remember that days about the Viking stuff. And no, I didn't like that. It was like 90 odd quid people were charging to go on investigation at night time. No, you're right. And I think that's the new thing, that people won't speak out about paranormal stuff because they do get scared that they're going to be seen as a bit crazy, especially when it comes to bizarrely UFO stuff. Now, UFO stuff is quite, in the news at the moment. Yeah, a lot of people who have seen stuff, and I've met a few people when I was doing my UFO video on here. Since then, I've had a lot more people come forward about sightings over Canvey, over London, and sort of up north. Now, Norfolk seems to get quite a lot, and I think about doing the Rendlesham video, which is our Roswell, I guess. But I know it's been covered a lot. Yeah, I mean, Dagenham's got quite a few. Well, actually, Dagenham's got loads of stories. And we've got, because what people forget is that we used to have the Central Essex wood, Central Essex, Central England wood. So historic woodland went right up the middle of England. That used to incorporate all sort of like Epping Forest and even like Brentwood and all that area. It also had this big thick forest going right way through it. So we get quite a lot of those stuff. Would you ever come up to Yorkshire? Yes, I would love to come up to Yorkshire. I've done, what part of Yorkshire are you in? Because I do know Yorkshire quite well. We're mainly North Yorkshire. So if you let me know what part of Yorkshire you're in, it'll be great. But yeah, no, so yeah, Dagenham and all up through that area is great. Yeah, funny enough, I have some stories on how we got up there. We've got a phantom lady that is seen on near a tunnel, and I don't have to look more into that and give you some stuff for that. Hi, Darren. Yeah, I have to look into some more information on where exactly it was in the tunnel, but also more North Yorkshire as well. So we've got a lot around, like Middlesbrough as well. I know what's it called? Aysgarth Falls. So when they filmed Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and I actually fell off of Aysgarth Falls and broke all my ribs and dislocated my shoulder. So I don't know. I'd have to have a look. I'd have to have a look at that. About, I'm sure I've probably got some up there. But I mean, if not, I can look. I know any place that I can have a right dig into. start reading through some of the comments. Down Fraser Galloway. I've got a great story for that one. I need a bit more information before I can cover it, but it is something I am looking to do. Chestnut Caves. Oh yeah, that'd be a good one to go to. I went there. Oh God, I've been about 15 years ago, and definitely a creepy place. I say that. It's the town next to Harrogate. Right, okay, I'll have a look at that one. No, I haven't been to the Witch's Cave. I have been all around that area, but I did not go to the Witch's Cave. I did go on. I don't know if you ever go through my older videos. I actually drove the whole coastline of the country, and yes, Shipton. Yes, you're right, Mother Shipton. Yes, does ring a bell. Went to Shipton and I went to Ripon as well. Doing an investigation in Ripon years ago. But yeah, I'm getting totally sidetracked here. Can't remember what I was talking about just now. But yeah, you go to my old videos. I drove the whole coastline of the country, and it was a great opportunity to pick up more stories. I know I was doing it for mental health at the time, but all the ghost stories that people were telling me at the time, it was just brilliant. I was just logging them. So I've got lots in Cornwall. Hence why I've done the one on Cornwall. I've got, what's the other one I was going to do? They had a big landslide that went down, destroyed a lot of the village. Because I've got some really good ghost stories about that area as well. So what I'm noticing when I do that in my video, I've got the screen here so I can see what I'm filming. There's a delay of about 30 seconds, so it is quite a bit of a delay. But yeah, you can have a look at my other videos and just see me driving around the country. I talk a lot of rubbish in it, and some of it's pretty good. And yeah, I slept in the back of a Range Rover for 14 nights, 17 nights. Apart from a couple where I got some pay for the hotel. But yeah, it was good. But I used to do really stupid things. So when we had a place called Hardy Park, we wanted to raise money because we put a cafe down there and was doing all stuff up. And I come up with this idea to see how far we could get away from Hardy Park on £10. And I got to Stockholm in Sweden, and the other guy got to Cornwall. And no, he got to Wales, in some farm in Wales he got to, by midnight. You had to get there by midnight. And I got to Stockholm. So I just enjoyed doing stuff like that. But for me now, it's about sharing all the information I've had over 20 years and learning new stuff now. I've been speaking to a few of you recently via Facebook, where you contact me on Facebook. I'm reducing my interactions with Facebook because it got all, was political, and probably will be again, but I try not to get politics in the way of this sort of stuff. Didn't always go down well, me doing politics and this at the same time. Some questions were asked, so it was quite fun. Just moving up on here. Also, I want to do one where I can learn how to share my screen and do this at the same time. So I think I'm going to have to buy a proper webcam for my laptop, because I'd love to be able to show you some of the stuff that I have, videos I can't show in my video for certain reasons, not copyright reasons. Yeah, I did. I did go to. I went to that site, that first land site. Went out where all the children were as well. Kelvin Hatch. If you really want me to do Kelvin Hatch, I will do Kelvin Hatch. You won't like the video. I have a bit of knowledge about Kelvin Hatch and when it was being built. Yeah. That's how you spell it. Yeah, I mean, I know Kelvin Hatch, right? So just look, we're on life, right? So Kelvin Hatch, the story is that it was maybe built on a burial ground. We're going into like a live proper episode now. So Kelvin Hatch was maybe built on a burial ground. They did find some bones when they were digging it up. But the reason why people believe it's haunted was that one night a workman disappeared, and the next day the concrete that they'd been pouring, they found his hat on top of the concrete. I know that that was a practical joke. All this is all a myth. All this other stuff that's been said about it, it was workmen playing a practical joke. Now, Kelvin Hatch don't want that to be known because obviously they get quite a decent amount of income from that. And obviously my issue is that when teams go there, they see these ghosts of airmen and all these other people. It basically was never really used. It was staffed on and off, but it never had really 50, 60 people there. Is something to do with the bones causing some sort of disturbance there? That is something I'm willing to look into. And yeah, I know, Buzz Castle. That's it, Buzz Castle. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, so I went to Buzz Castle. Do you know what? It was a lot smaller than what I thought when I got to Buzz Castle. Very, very quaint. Yeah, very, very picturesque village. But yeah, I get yeah, it was a little bit strange. I don't know. Got some witches in Bos Castle. So there's a famous witch, or said to be a famous witch from Bos Castle. And I know the town just outside of it as well has got quite a lot of witchcraft on it. And then, of course, as you go down to Land's End, lots of sort of the old witch stories coming out around the area. And go down to, what's it? Where's King Arthur's meant to be? Blame the spell checker. Can you cover the old horse hospital? That's a good one. I can. It may upset a few people because some of the people that are involved in the said ghosts are still alive. Tintagel, that's it. So as you go to Tintagel, you've got the sweet shop making thing up there, but also you've got the witches shops on there, which is really interesting. Yeah, it's a Tintagel. But yeah, also hospital. I know quite a few ghost stories around that area. It isn't just about people who died in the hospital. It's also to do with what was on the land beforehand and some events that happened on the land before that. I was in quite a unique position 4 years ago, being a counsellor. I got access to also hospital once parts of it was shut, and we got taken around a lot of the empty wards. So it would be nice. It would be nice. North Wales. Do you know what? The thing is about North Wales, there's loads up there. I'm actually researching something at the moment. It did link up with the Black Cat reports we've had recently because they were seen. We've got them in Hockley, Ipswich, and over South Weald. These are new Black Cat sightings and they've been reported. The Black Beast, Panthers, or whatever. We get them come up every so often, as you know. They tend to come up. Where am I from? I'm Stanford in Essex in England. Yeah. So not quite EastEnders, not quite Cockney. It's called Estuary English. And yeah, it's a mixture. All our families come from the East End. So my family originally come from Bethnal Green and moved to Ockenden. And then, yeah, come to via Southend to Stamford Hope. So you'll probably find us on the map. We've got the biggest port in Europe down the bottom of the road now, DP World. So it is quite interesting, our language. Not quite Only Way is Essex, although if you do watch Only Way is Essex, A lot of it is filmed at the Regent down in Stanford-Hope, and they used to film quite a lot down there. And we used to see quite a lot of the celebrities from Young Ways Essex down there all the time. The other place you know Stanford-Hope from, Ryland Clark. Ryland lived just the top of my road, and I actually knew him quite well. And yeah, he let me go to Strictly Takes Two with him. Sound like Del Boy telling stories. Do you know what? I listen back to myself. So I had to speak in chamber. There's a local councillor. I used to stand up. And I'm not one for really making notes. I always just speak from the heart. And it's the way I do. I guess it's because my spelling, my handwriting is so bad. Reading my own handwriting is a nightmare. And sometimes I go on a rant in full council. Especially, I was chair of health and wellbeing. And when I got beam up on it, I would just go on and on and on. Then I listened back to the live stream videos on YouTube at Thurrock Council. And I was like, oh, God, that sounds so common. You got all these posh people standing there talking to me that have come out of years of university at Cambridge. And then you got me sitting there talking. It ain't good. It ain't good. But yeah. But yeah, if any of you that are on here at the moment haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And it's going to help me a lot. I think we're nearly at 3,000 views at the moment. But yeah, I enjoy doing these videos. Yeah, Yorkshire's got a really strong accent. We went up there, when was it? A little while ago. No, it weren't. It was when I was driving around there. It's quite funny. As you go up, and I say I've noticed it more on the east coast of the country. You leave Essex, even in Essex, you've got different, people sound different further you go up. From where I'm, South Essex, then you go Basildon, which is a little bit more dirtier Essex, then South End, slightly posher Essex, and as you go up, you go right away up. Now do, lad, means hello. Now do, lad. Okay. So we're just like, all right, mate, cheers. Yeah. Watcha. That's what we sort of say. But as you go up the east of the country, you know, even you get to sort of like Suffolk, the language and the accent changes all the way up. I didn't notice that much on the way back down. Once you got to sort of like Bristol, all the way down to almost like Cornwall, bottom of Cornwall, is where you really notice the difference in the accents. Middlesbrough, no, not Middlesbrough. It's where they filmed Vera. So a lot of stuff where they filmed Vera. I've spent quite a lot of time around there. Nodded your head, best hello. Yeah, it's strange how Americans. I've got quite a few select American viewers, and they contact me via X now, and I have to explain to them a lot of stuff I've said in the video, so I have to go back over it again with them, because I guess we forget we use different languages over here to America, and some of our slang can be a little bit different, even though we don't really know we're using slang, but I guess we do use it quite random, even the nods. I mean, in the Pell House one, not Pell House, Hall Place I'm doing today, I've just had to change some things I plan to say because I think it may puzzle a few people. But yeah, so this was all a planned live stream. I've only tested to see if it works. I'm glad to see that it does work, and that 21 of you are watching. I'm quite impressed by that. Also, there is one thing. My notifications are not being sent out by YouTube, so make sure if you're subscribed, go on there and hit the bell, because my last 3 videos, none of the notifications went out apparently. And I have noticed that some of the people I watch, their notifications are not coming up on here. Yeah, all right, yeah. Can't think what the other ones we have. So it used to be all right, Geezer. That used to be 1 year ago. The Tower of London, it does let people in go and investigate. Normally linked with TV shows. I do know most of the ghost stories of it. It would be nice if it was open more to the public to do those sort of like overnight stuff. I did remember somebody years ago who Pete Bill from EastEnders. No, is it Pete? Is that what you mean? All right, Treacle, yeah, Pete Bill. Funny enough, one of my friends, they run the veg stall in Corringham, and they're very much proper EastEnders sounding vegetable runners. It's quite funny. And but yeah, I mean, we've all got different accents, sort of like that. But Tower of London, yeah, I definitely would like to go spend more time around there. I think it's obviously very controlled. I did know someone who was friends with a beefeater. We tried to get access to it. It was just not going to happen. Want to do Houses of Parliament? I know a lot of stories of Houses of Parliament. Not many of them are actually listed, which is quite interesting. Quite interesting. So yeah, it would be good to do Houses of Parliament as well. There's quite a few other places I want to do, and St James's Palace is meant to be a really good place. The War Rooms, another one that's maybe well haunted as well. Would love to get access to all the underground stations. Would love to do that. Yeah, there's quite a few of those ones I'd love to go along to. Yes, St Paul's is haunted. The Whispering Gallery up there. So for quite a few years, I worked in London and different offices in London. And I say it's how I end up finding about William Wallace and the Spiffield's one that I've just done. Spiffield's. You reach from Canooden. Jamaica in. Do you know what? Funny enough, when we was driving down with my wife and he's like, Jamaica in? And I'm like, yeah. Then I told her, you do know it's haunted. And she still stayed there. But I say, Canooden, it's a lovely place. I don't know why anyone want to move to Canooden. But then again, you went to Yorkshire, so. But it's cold up north, isn't it? So. But yeah, definitely, I'd say Jamaica Queen's well worth staying there. Probably need to take your own food. The restaurant wasn't great. Hopefully, it's under new managers now, but it wasn't great. But yeah, back to Billy's question. Yeah, St Paul's is haunted. The Whispering Gallery up there, and the Nave, I think it is meant to be haunted as well. I will cover that. I will cover St Paul's. So I want to try and do a collection of London sites because I like it that you can go and visit these ones. So that's why I want to try and cover areas where you all live as well. Do you know what? I'm not going to say what I thought you put there. I ain't got my glasses on. But when you said some Waldens, I thought it said something different with a W. It's quite interesting, right? So I don't know if I should say this. I was taken on a little tour of Parliament. My friend at the time was Mayor Farrock, and I was elected councillor. So we got invited there. And he took me a tour. He works there as well, part of his job. Not as mayor, just what he does in his daytime. He took me on a tour, and we went to a location, and he opened up this cupboard, and he shoved me in it. And I thought, what's he doing? And on the back of the door, it had "in this room," and it was written by Tony Benn, got the plaque put up, and it said, "In this room stayed." Oh, now my memory's going to go. I was talking about this the other day. Emily Pankhurst on the night of the census, and apparently Emily Pankhurst slept in that cupboard to be able to say that a lady stayed in Parliament overnight. Russian address. But yeah, it's a tiny little cupboard. It actually got servers in there now. So, but yeah, it was a bit weird. I didn't know what he was doing when he shoved me in there. But it was just a really nice thing to see. Blimey. See, those sort of stories, I think, lead to really good ghost stories if people have seen something. History, I love the history where things back up the real events. So, like, you get someone who said that, well, yeah, so yeah. So there you've got something that if people are seeing it, and then you dig into history and something in history backs it up, that's perfect. So I never used to like, I never used to let my team know where we're going to investigate because I didn't want them to know any history before it. 100% seen a ghost. Well, I mean, this is the thing. If people, I meet people all the time. They'll tell me, definitely, I see this, and I'm not going to question their belief. I don't know how ghosts work. I don't know how our brains work. I mean, years ago, the things that we thought were paranormal were now normal. So we just got to look at, satellites and stuff like that, or even meters and all that sort of stuff. Our understanding of the world changes every day. Now, if we go back to our history books, half our history books we learned at school, being I'm quite old, are wrong. History's changed a lot now. Yeah, when I stay in Yorkshire, when I went up there, so I went up there in the summer. It was really hot. I have to look at my videos where I stayed. I stayed at Whitby. Couldn't find anywhere to sleep at Whitby. I was going to sleep at Whitby Abbey in the back of the car, and in the end, I pulled into some B&B's place and said, "Can I sleep in your car park?" And they let me sleep in the car park by their bins. So, and when I got to Blackpool, I slept underneath the big one, at the back of a car park of a hotel, and I had the big one above me where I slept. Yeah, Jack. I mean, the thing is, you're in a position where you can sense more. Um, I think people who can sense things around them, they're feeling of the atmosphere. Now, again, this goes back to EMF. We all have our own uh, electro field around us, and if things sort of push into that, it can trigger our senses. Um, so yeah, I think people can pick up, especially on emotions as well. Um, you say the new Scotland Yard. You mean the one by St Paul's, St Paul's, near St James's Park, or the new Scotland Yard that's by the Embankment? Oh, Victoria. Should have read that. Yeah, I'd like to go around that crime museum. It's not open to the public no more, is it? I remember years ago it used to be open up. But I think it's only for learning detectives now and people learning to do investigations, I believe. Do you notice when you go to Whitby, and if you look at my travel video of Whitby, you'll see that the columns look like spines or bones of the tower. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the old, both the old sites of Scotland Yard and the original site of Scotland Yard are all meant to be haunted, especially one by not Horse Parade, but uh, off St James's East, is it? I think it is. So there's some great stories about that. Just try and imagine what a Whitby Goth Festival must look like of a night time, being since November. It might be a bit creepy, really. Right, I'm going to go in a minute because I've literally got to film the next video, otherwise I won't get up. You're not sure about famous haunted places? Yeah, um, he could. I think the things you do get access to certain locations through people you know. That's why I'm trying to push the Parliament one. Unfortunately, um, two MPs I knew, still know them, just they're not MPs anymore. Unfortunately, thank you. Right, yeah, I'm going to end this one because I'm going to go Enfield. Oh yeah, Enfield one. Yeah, as I say, Malden, yeah, definitely very creepy. Loads of old bodies been found on the Malden estuary as well. Right, I'm going to end this one now because I've got to go and record a video or I won't get one up in the next one. So I'll see you in a new video. And I'm glad that the live worked and that you can hear me. And again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. All right, so cheers, Kelly. All right, I'll see you all later. Bye, Emma. Bye. I don't know how to stop this. I've never ended a life before. Well, I don't think so anyway. So I end it.